What if I told you that you can make your first NBA 2K26 build right now? I know that sounds crazy, but before you write this off as another clickbait 2K26 video, just hear me out. If you're anything like me, you were a little overwhelmed by all the builder news 2K released. Between max plus 2s increasing your badges by 2 levels, custom takeovers, and new specialization quests, it was all a little too much. Until I realized that it's all basically NBA 2K25 2.0. Here, take a look at this. Zach2K posted a video where he took one of the 99 overall builds leaked from NBA 2K26, put it into NBA 2K25, and the build was nearly the exact same. The only thing he couldn't do was upgrade his post control by 1 point. Naturally, other people started doing the same with other 2K26 builds 2K showed, and every single time the builds were nearly identical. So that made me do some digging. On 2K's live stream, they showed the attribute ratings required to unlock Shifty Shooter. 76 for bronze, 87 for silver, 91 for gold, and 96 for Hall of Fame. So obviously I hopped on 2K25 to check, and what do you know, it is the same exact requirements, except they removed the agility rating requirement from the badge. Still not convinced? They also released a screenshot showing what rating you need to unlock the small contact dunks off 2 package, which is 86 driving dunk and 75 vertical. So I hopped on 2K25 and shocker, it's the exact same requirement. So what that tells us is NBA 2K26 builder is basically the same as 25's with minor tweaks for balance. Now personally, I like 25's builder, so this isn't an issue for me, but whether you like this or hate it, it presents us with a really rare opportunity to lab our builds weeks before the game even comes out. So today we are gonna make my do-it-all small guard build that got nearly 1 million views on YouTube this year because of how many people loved it, a 6'6" tall ISO build that's gonna be more insane than ever on 2K26 for reasons that I'll share later, and a stretch big / shooting center build while keeping in mind all the new changes like max plus 2 perks and custom takeovers. Now before we get into it, shout out to I'm Different JC for winning one of my NBA 2K26 giveaways. If you're looking to win NBA 2K26 for free, all you have to do is like the video, drop a sub with notifications on, and comment what height you're gonna make your first build on NBA 2K26. Alright y'all, here we go. We're gonna start with our all-around small guard build, which historically every single year is the safest build to make day 1 of NBA 2K26. Now I'm not trying to make each section its own separate build video, so every time we're gonna start with a build that I released in NBA 2K25 and then tweak it to fit NBA 2K26's standards. So right here we have my 2-way point guard build, and right away you can see why the video got almost 1 million views. This build can do it all. We have a 93 drive and dunk, a 92 3-point rating, a 92 ball handle, and a 91 steal. Literally an all-around point guard build. Super OP, people still use it to this day, but with the addition of max plus 2s, we can make this build even better. And the way we're gonna do that is by first lowering our driving dunk from a 93 to an 89. But granted, if we do that, we lose gold posterizer. No, actually, you get Hall of Fame instead while using less attributes. Because obviously, we're gonna max plus 2 this to get Hall of Fame posterizer with an 89 driving dunk. Now y'all, keep in mind from what we know, you get 3 max plus 2s on your build. 2 that you're gonna unlock right away from either the seasons or a quest you have to do, and then 1 that is locked to your specialization quest that will probably take a casual player 2 weeks to a month to complete, and then probably take a sweat like me around 3 days to complete. They released what the shooting specialization quest looked like, and one of the requirements was making 1,000 threes, but it can be done in my career or online. We'll talk more about our max plus 2s once we finish this build, but don't stress them too much. They're just like max plus 1s this year. You can change them every single game. It's not like committing a cap breaker this year. The next thing we're gonna do is lower our pass accuracy from a 77 to a 71. Every single year I tell y'all that pass accuracy doesn't need to be high. This year I gave y'all the benefit of the doubt and went higher on pass accuracy so you'd be happy with it, but once again I was right. Most of my builds had a 65 to a 70 pass accuracy and they were perfectly fine. But it's okay, I forgive you if you sub with notifications on. Nah, I'm playing, but let's keep going. The one thing that this build actually lacks is Steve Francis dribble moves on a small guard. That was the one big asterisk by this build, and it happened because we could literally do everything else on the court. But now because of max plus 2s, we lowered our driving dunk, we lowered our pass accuracy, which means we can also lower our close shot draft, driving dunk isn't gonna keep making it go up automatically anymore. And then we can raise our ball handle to a 94, which not only gives us Hall of Fame handles for days off rip, but it also gives us the ability to unlock Steve Francis. But grinding, how? Steve Francis is a 95, you only have a 94, dummy. Because we haven't yet mentioned cap breakers. Now my day one builds do not mention more than 6 cap breakers because that is what an average player is going to achieve. This year, all you had to do to get 5 cap breakers was hit starter 3. But you gotta keep in mind, people are gonna hit that at different rates. Some people have jobs, some people have families, some people have things to do, so they might take 2 months to hit starter 3. The beautiful thing about this build is you do not have to hit starter 3 at all to get Steve Francis. First of all, you're gonna be cooking without it, so it's not like you're at a detriment. You gotta remember, 1 million people made this build with a 92 ball handle and were absolutely satisfied with it. And second of all, the only thing you have to do to get Steve Francis is finish 1 specialization quest because it'll unlock a cap breaker for you. Now make sure to keep in mind that if you want to get the cap breaker for playmaking specifically, you have to do the playmaking specialization. So once we figure out how early on in the rep system we get cap breakers, you're gonna have to make a decision. Are you gonna commit the 1 cap breaker from your specialization to get your ball handle up, or are you just gonna use one of your 5 cap breakers that you get from the rep system whenever they announce it? Me personally, I'm probably gonna get it from the rep system, so I'm glad that we have it like this anyways. But either way, you're gonna be perfectly set. You're gonna have a 95 ball handle now with a 92 3-point rating, which if you're smart, you're gonna use one of your max plus 2s on set shot specialist to get legend set shot specialist with just a 92 rating. You'll have Hall of Fame posterizer because of your other max plus 2, and then once you unlock your 3rd max plus 2, you can go Hall of Fame limitless range, you can go legend interceptor, Hall of Fame glove. The possibilities are endless. That's why I love this build for NBA 2K26. You could do it all. And the funny thing is, we're not even done yet. To finish off this build, one of the other weaknesses people pointed out is that we could not do any standing dunks because we did not have a 40 rating. So we're honestly just gonna upgrade this all the way to 43. And then to finish off the build, we're just gonna add 1 more point into our steals so that when we get cap breakers, we could also maybe potentially get a 94 steal if we wanted to, or even a 96 for Hall of Fame glove. So that way you can use a max plus 1 on your glove, get legend glove whenever you have a 96 steal, and then use your max plus 2 somewhere else like on limitless range. So this is my first template that I'm gonna be taking into NBA 2K26. Obviously there's gonna be some little changes based on what wingspan allows you to get, what weight allows you to get, but from what we've seen, the 26 builder is basically the 25 builder. Now, if you think this small guard build is insane, wait till you see the 6'6" that can now get a super OP dribble style that it previously couldn't due to a height restriction. Now for our 6'6" demigod build, Mike Wang released a tweet saying that he's going to loosen the restrictions on the best dribble moves so tall guards can actually be viable. And instantly people started jumping to the conclusion that their 6'8" is going to get Steve Francis. No, that is not what this means. Think about it. If tall guards could get Steve Francis, a dribble move that requires 95 ball handle, there would be literally 0 reason to make a small guard. What Mike Wang most likely means by this tweet is he is going to be removing the height restriction on certain dribble moves, so if you have the rating needed for a previously small guard exclusive dribble move, you can actually put it on. And the first OP dribble move that comes to mind is of course Darius Garland dribble style. This move requires only an 86 speed with ball. The only reason it wasn't used on 6'5" and 6'6" builds is because of the 6'4" and under requirement. So with that restriction hopefully being removed, we have a lot of changes to make. Right here is my 6'6" build that I released earlier in the year. And once again, people love this build for good reason. You have a 92 ball handle, so you get all the best dribble moves for 6'6". You got an 89 driving dunk for silver posterizer. Everybody used their max plus 1 to get gold on this. An 85 3-point rating, an 85 perimeter defense, and an 86 steal. The 86 steal was so you could use 5 cap breakers to get it to a 91. And then once people got cap breakers, they also upgraded their driving dunk to a 93, getting Hall of Fame posterizer because they got gold posterizer and then max plus 1 on Hall of Fame. Basically, the overall consensus was that this was a great all-around build that had more potential the more you leveled up. But now with the max plus 2 badge and this new info that we got, we could skip the grind altogether. And the way we're gonna do that is by first lowering our block from a 74 all the way to a 35. I get what I was thinking when I put block on a tall build, but bro, I rarely ever got blocks on my 6'6". I really don't think that rating made a difference, and it did cost me a lot, as you're gonna see in a second. And the next thing we're gonna lower is our agility to an 81 instead of an 85. Now grinding, that seems like a pretty decent hit. Why are we doing all this? Well, that's because if we go up here and lower our driving layup by 1 to a 77, we can now make our 3-point from an 85 to an 89, giving us gold set shot specialist and silver limitless range, with 2 max plus 2s would be legend set shot specialist and Hall of Fame limitless range. But Grinding, where are we putting our 3rd max plus 2? Oh, nothing too crazy, just on legend lightning launch with a 6'6" build. So not only are you 6'6" with respectable defense that's only gonna get better with cap breakers, you're also an offensive menace because you're gonna have Darius Garland dribble style with legend lightning launch, and once the defense tries to sag off you because they can't keep up with you whatsoever because you got long legs, you're taking big steps with legend lightning launch and the quickest dribble style in the game, you're gonna have legend set shot specialist and Hall of Fame limitless range to absolutely spark in from deep to punish them. I am being so serious. If they allow us to do this, 6'6" will 100% be the meta over any other height. The reason for that is any taller of a build and you cannot get legend lightning launch, and assuming that badge is actually good, 6'6" are gonna reign supreme. So make sure you put that in your notes, bro, to check out 6'6" builds, see if you can actually get Darius Garland, see if Mike Wang actually released a restriction on a dribble style that matters, because if he does, you are gonna see 6'6" run the 2's court the entire year. Now, I do need to put a disclaimer. You have to keep in mind this is making builds with all the info we know so far. Everything that makes a good build 100% completely depends on the gameplay. For example, 2K21 current gen, you could make insane 6'6" and 6'7" builds, but you had to have a 95+3 to evergreen consistently in that game. Now this year they said they have a pure green window, which makes me think that it's going to be a harder shooting 2K because they're going to lower the green window to compensate for the fact that you can make every single shot if you're good. So the 3-point rating required might be higher, but I just don't see a world where an 89 3-pointer and a legend set shot specialist badge does not compensate for that. We're gonna have to see, but just seeing this build gets me so excited. And yeah, to finish it off, you can do whatever you want. If you're a rec head, upgrade your free throw, you can upgrade your offensive rebound, your block, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. But this right here is my 6'6" NBA 2K26 template build. In the comments right now, let me know which one you're rocking with so far, the 6'3" or the 6'6". In my personal opinion, I was planning on rocking a 6'3" just because it's the safest build to make in the beginning of the year. But if I hop on this game and I see that this is possible and I could do everything that I said, I am 100% making a 6'6" the first day of the game. And I will be going on a 100-game win streak on the 2, so if you pull up on me, RIP to your win percentage. I'm sorry, brother, it's just gotta happen. Now let's show some love to my big men. Now last but not least, our big man build. This right here is my first 7-foot shooting center build, aka 7-foot popper, mainly used for rec and pro-am. This was the beginning of the year when nobody had any cap breakers, so obviously there was no 99 rebounding builds yet. So what this build excelled at was obviously rebounding. 96 was very high for the beginning of the year. Nobody went 99 in the builder because it cost way too much. An insane block rating. 93 block was a little bit too much of an overkill in hindsight, but it was fun in the beginning of the year because everybody just mashes the paint because nobody could figure out how to shoot. And then the best part about the build, in my opinion, is a 93 pass accuracy, so you can catch the ball and just chuck it full court and get free assists. Myself and people that made this build were calling this build the triple-double machine because all you had to do was get a rebound, throw an assist, and you would score off of easy slips on the half-court set. Now, if I'm honest, at the end of the year, this build is pretty mid. But for the beginning of the year where everybody has 0 cap breakers, it was amazing, and it's only gonna get better because of our max plus 2s. The one notable difference in this build that made it kind of weak was its strength was super low compared to inside center. Again, in the beginning of the year, you didn't really get dogged by inside centers. Nobody really knew what they were doing. But the great part about this is we don't have to increase our weight and lower our speed to get a higher strength because we could just use our max plus 2 on legend box out beast and Hall of Fame brick wall. Then we use one of our max plus 1s on rebound chaser. You're gonna have a legend rebound chaser as well. That's if you didn't want to make a single change on this build. If you did, honestly, I would lower the block, as block was not as important as we thought it was going to be in the beginning of the year. I would personally lower it to an 88, lower our perimeter defense to a 42, lower our steal to a 60. We never got glove steals with our center, it never happened. And then from there, I would raise the weight to 243 pounds, lower our speed a little bit to a 70 and our agility to a 59. That way we can make our strength an 89, giving us Hall of Fame box out beast, so we don't have to use a max plus 2. And then from there, you can just raise your standing dunk to an 87, giving you gold area wizard, and then possibly possibly giving you the chance to cap breaker for a 90 standing dunk after you obviously cap breaker for a 99 offensive rebound and maybe a 93 block if it's actually useful this year. And the reason I say to do that is because now you can use one of your 2 max plus 1s on box out beast. So you're gonna get legend box out beast and legend rebound chaser just using your max plus 1s. You're still gonna use a max plus 2 on brick wall for Hall of Fame brick wall, but then you can use one of your other max plus 2s on set shot specialist for Hall of Fame set shot specialist with an 82 mid range. And then finally you can use your last max plus 2 once you upgrade it on a rise up or one of the defensive badges like high flying denier for legend chase down. One thing I love about the max plus 2 change is that it creates so many opportunities for you to just change up your build and go lower ratings than you would any other year because you can make up for it with the badge. Again, assuming that the badges are actually effective. I swear if 2K baits us into making like a low 3-point build and still getting legend set shot specialist and we can't green, there's gonna be a riot. But man, if legend set shot specialist works like it did this year and we take out the RNG effect, which they said has been confirmed taken out, then I think builds are gonna get absolutely insane. But anyways, y'all, let me know which one of the 3 builds you're rocking with the most. I hope y'all followed through what I was saying. I hope y'all understand that this was not meant to be a clickbait video. I really thought I cooked here. So if y'all disagree, let me know in the comments why or why not. Obviously, everything relies on the gameplay. We're gonna have to see what 3-point rating is effective, what steal rating is effective, what rebounding rating is meta, everything like that. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all so much for watching. I love you all, and as always, keep grinding.